Hello, agents. Hello, everyone. Sometimes the insurance companies come to me like, hey, we want to move more of our product. What can we do to make it more appetizing to the risk-adverse fixed annuity client or the agents to market it? And I go ahead and I tell them on indexed annuities, the same thing I've been saying. I've been working on these since the mid-90s is guarantees and renewal histories are two things you're going to want in your fixed indexed annuity to make it appetizing to the fixed annuity client, risk-adverse people, and the traditional fixed annuity insurance agent. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. The importance of historical renewal rates and fixed indexed annuities, or as they're affectionately called, FIAs. Let's jump into this. Historical renewal rates matter. Offering predictable FIAs is totally possible if you have the right data at your fingertips. The strongest guarantee in any fixed annuity, remember this is very important, the minimum guarantee. Now, outside of the minimum guarantee, the next most important thing you can have in a trust me rate type product is a renewal history, whether it's a single premium, deferred annuity that renews an interest rate annually, flex premium products with the same thing, or if it's an FIA with all those moving parts, spreads, participation rates, and caps, all those buckets, monthly averagings, all that good stuff that can be changed. So want a good renewal rate history. So if you're considering a long-term FIA product, one should ask for the renewal rate history. And the insurance companies, when I mention this, they listened and they come out with stuff that looks a little bit like this. And we're going to get more into that at the end of this video. I have some examples and some cool breakdowns of that. But first, I want to get into why it's important to get these historical renewal history. So why ask for these histories when purchasing an FIA? Hey, when buying an FIA, requesting the renewal history is crucial for several reasons. Let's jump into those reasons. First, it avoids teaser rates and predicts long-term performance. Many FIAs offer attractive initial rates and bonuses to lure buyers, but these can be reduced significantly in subsequent years, impacting the overall return or expected return. The history reveals a pattern of how these insurance handle renewals, helping you gauge whether the future rates are likely to remain competitive or decline. So if you got a product that has a 10% bonus up front, hey, it might lower it to pay that bonus back because everybody shops on the same street for their yield, right? So let's go ahead and look in the next step, right? Assesses the insurer's reliability and transparency. That's a great word, transparency. Not all companies disclose this history easily or at all, but reviewing it shows how consistently they've treated their policyholders, right? A stable or improving, if you can get that history, which I've seen rare, but I've seen it, indicates a more reliable product, while frequent reductions might suggest the insurance company prioritizes profit over people. So their priority is profit over the clients. We don't like that, right? What's another thing? Well, it enables comparison. And this is a great one. So by examining renewal histories across different insurers, you can compare apples to apples. For example, one FIA might offer this like big, huge bonus up front or cap, but its history shows they drop it soon after. So it's a good comparison. Both, let's say there's two out there one offers a 10% bonus and one offers an 8, but both their caps are say 6. But when you look at the history, that 10% bonus has a history of dropping those caps like in year 2, whereas the other 8% bonus maybe holds the caps to term. So, right? So that 2% you're giving up, you may make back in 1 year down the road. So you want to look at, how close are their initial rates and how close are their renewal rates. And that's going to give you a great thing. And you want transparency in these things. So does it mitigate? It mitigates risk of underperformance. Of course it does. If you know the company has a history of renewing well, you're going to do better than a company that has a history of not renewing well. You will not underperform your illustration as badly. So FIAs aren't guaranteed to match the illustrated index returns due to these adjustable rates and assumptions. Caps, spreads, they're all going to move. But when you do the illustration, it assumes those cap spreads, whatever you bought, is in that bucket for the whole time and doesn't change. Yeah, there's the 0% minimum guarantee, so you'll probably wind up somewhere between the two. But all I can tell you is those assumptions are wrong because we assume that those caps and rates are going to change, right? And we assume that because most do. So Historically, renewal data helps you model realistic scenarios rather than relying on those optimistic illustrations, which can be misleading. So you can tell the client, hey, look, the cap's 10, but the company usually drops it 1 or 2 points during the term, be aware. Or, hey, look, this company so far has it. It doesn't mean they won't drop it, but look, for 6 years, they've held it. So good chance they might hold it. That's exactly why you want the renewal rate history. So here we go. So Capital Life was one of those companies that called me and say, hey, what can we do? I'm like, you don't have a history. And I saw you one time use new money rates, whatever. So I'm like, a history would be great. And I can send that to the agent. So they came out with this history. And it says how often each crediting strategy has been renewed at 90% or more. By the way, Liberty Bankers Group is actually Capital Life. They're out of Texas. They're A- rated by AM Best Excellent. I've worked with them for a while. You can call over there, get people on the phone. They know what they're doing. I like that. Here's their, this is their renewal history that they put out. It breaks down that 90% of their buckets, that their buckets renew at 90% or more of their initial rate. What does that mean? If your cap's 10, 90%, it'll renew at 9% or better, right? 90% or more of its initial rate. So 100% of the time, it does that. So 100% of the time, a 10% cap is renewed at 9 or better. Same with all the other ones, but their fixed rate is a little less because it's probably more mark to market or new money rate listed. So that will move with the environment. Whereas these spreads and caps should have been long-term matching durations from the insurance company. So they should be able to hold these caps, spreads, and participation rates better. That's how that works. So Mass Mutual also did an amazing job, and I've had success selling these, and I've had agents have great success selling these because when you buy something at an initial rate of 4.15 and 4 years later is at 4.15, nothing's changed. And that was a increasing rate environment, so it didn't go up, but it didn't go down. And now we look at a decreasing rate environment from 24 to 25, and the cap also still stayed. Initial was 10, and they stayed in year 2 at 10. And I'd expect them to stay darn close to that 10 because of their renewal history in the past from 22. They stay close. They know what they're doing. They match their assets. Very good job there. And other companies do the same. I'm not purposely picking out any one company over the other. I really like the way Liberty Bankers does business, and Mass Mutual does great business. So those are why I picked those two for this. But yep. So if you want an indexed annuity illustration, you can visit my FSD Financial, frankdemtavenfinancial.com. Click on that FIA or highlight that FIA link, and then it'll pop off this FIA quote. Go ahead and click on that. It'll pull up this page and submit your quote. So yeah, that's the end of my presentation. I hope you liked it. I hope you understand that renewal rate histories on indexed annuities are extremely important to be part of your education and presentation to your agents and clients as you market these products. So anyway, X, YouTube, LinkedIn for the most up-to-date information. If you would like more information on indexed annuities, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. Happy to help you agents and get you set up with the most client-oriented traditional products. Anyway, yeah, X, YouTube, LinkedIn, no fees, just insurance guarantees. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.